Perfect.
That was so good.
That was very good.
Wow.
I know. We're clapping queens.
Okay.
Welcome! How do we start this again?
Happy Halloween, everyone. Ooh. Welcome back to Witches and Legends and Ghosts. Oh my.
Oh my.
The day we are recording this is not Halloween, but the day this is releasing, it's Halloween. So yay.
Spirit
Happy
still.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
I'm going as Chrissy, and Addie's gonna be
Eddie's gonna be Kyle.
Kyle's gonna be
I'm not going as anything. I'm just gonna be at home by myself.
Yeah. I'm going over to Human Papa's. Those are my grandparents. Going over to Human Papa's. The twins are gonna be there.
To hand out candy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Cute.
we're still gonna dress up and stuff because might as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
The kids will get a kick out of it. They can like come to your door. They'll know who you are.
I hope so.
People, listen, knowing from working at a daycare and from doing my internship with children, kids know way too much these days. And so they will for sure know who Chrissy is because they probably know that one TikTok song that they've made.
Chrissy, wake up!
They know it. They will be 6 years old and they will know what that is. And when I was 6, I didn't even know that I had a consciousness. Like, honestly, like...
Damn.
Like, we played tag and, like, that was the highlight of every day. So, there was no phone. There was no Chrissy.
There was no Chrissy, wake up. Okay. So, should we take our shot and then shuffle?
So, we should.
Okay.
Shot is the same as last week. Last week.
Oh, yesterday. Those are the pumpkins making noise. We have blue curacao again.
Cheers.
Oh, God. And then we have...
So good.
I forgot. So it's Sprite, and what is the...
It's called an island mix, but it's basically like sweet and sour pucker with whatever alcohol that is.
That's what I was trying to figure out was the alcohol.
I don't know. Liqueur.
It was in the same bottle that blue curacao comes in.
Which is just a liqueur.
Yeah, a
liqueur.
It tastes like sweet and sour.
Sweet tarts.
Sweet tarts. That's what it is. Sweet tarts. It tastes like sweet tarts.
Really good. It's with Sprite. Just in case you didn't mention that. Can't remember what you said.
It's really good. So, also recommend. I'm gonna adjust this. Hang on.
It's so good. ASMR. Sorry for everyone who hates the sound of swallowing. I also hate the sound of swallowing.
We're probably gonna get rid of this part because I had to adjust so much. So.
And it was loud.
Probably really loud. Yeah.
Then you might have missed my swallowing. It's okay.
So it's okay. It all worked out. Okay, and unlike last time, we're actually going to do what we're supposed to and shuffle first. Not at the last minute.
Hopefully, as time goes on, I know you have other Oracle cards.
I do.
So then, after these 3 episodes, these 3 release special episodes, we can do a whole bunch of different Oracle decks. I think I have an Oracle deck, too. We could also do tarot. We could just pull a tarot card.
Yeah,
honestly.
I just don't know those as well, and I would actually have to, like, you know whose book that's at least mine. Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, I was going to say,
it does.
My for sure yours has
that
to be
one came flying out.
I have one, too. Mine is so pretty. Not that yours isn't pretty, but, like, mine is, like...
that's weird.
Okay, dude. I keep dropping chunks. It's fine. We got this.
Sorry, I was not supposed to look at that yet.
Oh, perfect. Oh,
but
did we already do this one? We
already
did this one.
It doesn't matter if we already did it. It's the one that we grabbed.
I know. It's just, now I need to say the whole thing all over again. It wasn't from the same day.
Okay.
So we're good.
I'm going to put this. This is going on the table. You guys can't see it. Yeah, that's going to be a wild one to read.
Is it? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be excited.
So this time, I'm starting.
You are.
And in honor of it being Halloween, that's upside down, I'm coming at you with the origin of Halloween.
Anyways.
I have to burp.
Let's hear it. Get really close.
It went away. That's really sad. I really had to burp.
Yeah, see, this is a good thing about me not wearing headphones is I don't have to hear, like, any of that really up close.
Yeah.
But all the listeners, like, if you did burp, like, you would be in their head
I'd try and
burping.
mute it. So you wouldn't have to be listening to my
Listening to that.
Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to... Sorry, Hema, if you're listening. I do say that now.
Jesus Christ.
The Lord's name in vain, yeah.
I say his name in vain all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Instead of swearing, I just say Jesus Christ.
Yeah, mainly same, but I also very much swear. So anyways, okay, what do you know about, and like, do you know anything about the origin, like where it came from, anything like that?
I know that it's supposed to be when the veil between the living and the dead is thin.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And I know that we dress up and hand out candy, and there's pumpkins.
All right. Yes, all of which I will be covering today.
Okay, good.
Okay, so this part you're going to kick yourself for not saying, because you do know this.
Oh.
This originally started from an ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.
Wait, what?
Samhain? Samhain?
It's pronounced Samhain, I think.
Samhain?
Yeah.
It's spelled Samhain, but
yeah,
I know that's wrong.
It is. It's
I
spelled
know
Samhain.
that's wrong.
I think it's Samhain.
Okay, Samhain. Okay. So that's where this origin, like, that's like the origin of Halloween.
That is the origin.
That is the origin.
Okay, because I know about Samhain. I don't know why I didn't mention that.
Yeah. So, they celebrated. So the Celtics celebrated their New Year on November 1st, and this marked the end of summer and the harvest, and it was marking the start of winter, which is often associated with human death because of how dark and cold it was.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yule is really fun then. I thought you were gonna say yes, but instead I burped. Okay, valid.
Valid. So we'll cut that out. So anyways.
So Samhain.
So in this case, their New Year's Eve was October 31st, and this is the day that they celebrated Samhain. This was the day they believed that ghosts returned to Earth. So it's like similar to the veil is thinnest, but it's like they just thought that they actually just like returned for the night.
Yeah.
It's very similar when I was doing it. It's very similar to like Dia de los Muertos.
Oh my God, Coco.
Yes, it was very similar to that because it's like they come back, they're wearing masks, like all of this kind of stuff. It's all very, very similar to Samhain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Day of the Dead. What is it?
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los.
Dia de los.
Dia
Dia de los
Muertos.
Yeah. Day of the Dead.
I'm a white girl.
I'm also white, but I took Spanish.
I didn't.
You took Latin.
I took Latin. Atrium means atrium. I put my piece.
Can you say anything?
Right there, I said atrium.
Can you say something else? The cats are going psycho.
No. I only know the word for atrium, and that's because it's atrium.
You don't even know what like yes and no is?
No.
Huh.
Your cats.
Yeah,
Anyways, thank
psycho.
you, high school, for that online Latin course. I've learned so much. I use it every day.
If we were exorcists, we would use it every day to give exorcisms.
True. Although I don't think the word atrium is used often in exorcisms.
So close. Okay, so
where were we?
They believe that ghosts returned to Earth on
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos, yes. So people would wear costumes in order to ward off the ghosts from like scaring them, basically.
Oh.
It was kind of tricky because there were a couple parts that said that they wore that stuff to like scare them off, like the bad ones, but then they would still have like a placemat out for like their loved ones, and they would have candles out to be able to guide their loved ones home, but then they would wear costumes to like ward off the more evil
I wonder
spirits.
if it's like they wore costumes like to confuse them so that they don't know that they're human or alive.
That is
maybe it's like a
theory.
We're one of you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for like the evil ones.
Yeah.
So,
evil spirits.
Those evil spirits. So they believed that the ghosts would cause trouble and damage their crops, like right before winter. So it's like no.
Oh.
But they also thought that by having them around, the Celtic priests would be allowed to make prophecies, and this would bring all the people like some sort of comfort for like the upcoming winter.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Prophecies about the winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Prophecies?
Okay. So these are like how they celebrated then, like during Samhain, like back very, very, very long ago.
Okay.
They would build huge sacred bonfires where people would burn, crops and animals as sacrifices to the Celtic deities.
Yikes.
And then you know what like the hearth is, like in a home, hearth.
I thought the home was the
There's
hearth?
a hearth in the hearth.
Hearth? Hearth. I think it's hearth.
It's spelled
No,
hearth?
it's hearth. Because I was watching this one YouTube channel, and I think she calls herself a hearth witch.
Okay, that's what I thought. It doesn't
Hearth.
sound like a word anymore, but
We're
here
doing
we
hearth.
go. So they would extinguish their own hearth fires in their home right before Samhain
okay.
happened.
Okay.
And then they would wear costumes to ward off the ghosts, which this typically consisted of animals' heads and skins. Mm-hmm, yeah.
They wore those costumes?
Yeah.
So we're getting like midsummer up in here.
Yes.
Midsummer. Except for we're not burning ourselves
Right.
alive.
Yeah, no, we're just wearing them.
Like that.
To, like, blend in.
Cheating. Wasn't he cheating?
Well, yeah, but, like, I don't think he wanted to.
What do you mean? I can't remember how that went.
It was... I don't remember either.
Okay, well, I feel like he deserved it, though.
Well, yeah.
Midsommar. We're talking about Midsommar. The guy gets burned alive in a bear suit. It's great.
It is really great.
Female empowerment.
Anyway. So, they would also attempt to tell each other their fortunes.
Attempt.
I don't fucking
Hey,
know.
man.
Hey.
I looked at you and, like, your hair is brown, so I just feel like you're gonna have a baby with brown hair. Fortune.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What? Oh, thank you.
Brown hair.
Brown hair.
Okay.
Attempt. I like that.
Attempt, yes. After the celebration, everyone would...
After the burning?
After just the festival
Okay.
as a whole.
Okay.
They would relight their hearth fires from the sacred bonfire
Oh, that's
itself.
cool.
Yeah, and because they had sacrificed all these things to the deities in their name, then by taking that, it would like help protect their homes throughout the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a give and take.
Exactly. And then, yeah, they would also leave dinner places set at their table for their deceased family and friends. And then they would leave treats on doorsteps alongside of the road, along with lit candles to help guide their loved ones back to the spirit world at the end of the night.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that they just, it's like, you said they like leave plates out for their dead loved
Yeah.
ones. So I'm picturing just like, Bruno from Encanto just like setting his own plate. Like, that's what I'm picturing.
Yes.
Except for they said it for him.
Yeah.
But they didn't give a F about him leaving, so he didn't get a plate.
We don't talk about Bruno, no. Anyway.
But
It was
my wedding day.
It was our wedding day.
I was not expecting you to come up with that male counterpart. I should have expected it, considering
it's
every time
us.
we sing a song, we
Jesus
harmonize.
Christ. Anyway. So.
We don't talk about Bruno.
No, we don't. Who's he? Anyway.
Who is he?
Okay. So, in 43 AD.
Okay.
Long fucking time ago. This is when the Roman Empire conquered most of the Celtic territory.
Oh, this is where I come in. With the Latin. Roman.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways.
Yep.
They had a lot of atriums, guys.
There it is.
There it is.
And over the next 400 years, two festivals from Roman origin ended up being like combined with and like blended with Samhain.
Okay.
So the first is Feralia. Pardon me if I'm saying it wrong.
Sounds pretty, though.
It does sound pretty. This was sometime in late October, and it's where the Romans would commemorate the passing of the dead. So it's very similar to Samhain. And then the second was a day to honor Pomona, which is the Roman goddess of fruit and trees.
Okay.
So here's a fun fact. Her symbol is an apple. And they think that this incorporation of apples into Samhain is probably the reason why bobbing for apples is a thing that we do for Halloween, which I've never done. Have you ever?
I don't think so. Although I can picture it as like something that a teacher set up in elementary school.
That's so
Like, I can
weird to me.
picture that, like, the teacher set that up.
I can also picture that.
I don't think I did it, but I watched people do it. I'm
Same.
sure.
I think same, because I was just thinking about how gross it was to stick your head in where other people's mouths are open and getting their spit and saliva inside this thing, and then you're putting your head in there too, and they could have tried to bite a couple of apples that you're now going to put in your mouth. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, I never thought about that. Until literally just now.
Have anxiety. Hi, my name's Jade.
Hi, my name's Anxiety.
Hi, I am anxiety.
That's disgusting. Thank you for...
You're welcome. So that's why
ruining
I would
that
never,
for me.
ever do that. Ever. I would never
And I'm just
set
picturing...
one up, and I would never do one myself.
I'm just picturing, like bubbles at the top of it from, like, people's saliva
spit.
just sitting at the top.
Yeah.
That's so yummy.
Really, really disgusting. Also, if you, like, duck for a second, Hunter, I think you can see the cat on the... No, other way. There... Oh, she's blending in with the... You can see her eyes, and that's it.
Oh my gosh, where are her eyes?
If you go that... Oh, there's another cat. Right there. Right there. There she goes. That one, you can just see her eyes in the... Like, right where your hand is.
I'm trying to move out of the way. Anyways, there's a cat
anyway.
back there, and she's really cute.
That's Artemis. And then Nyx is the one you saw jumping down. And she's going to start scratching at our door wall to try and go outside onto the balcony, because she thinks she's abused if she's not outside.
Yeah. It's pathetic.
So anyway, in the 9th century...
Okay.
9th, not 19th.
Yeah, no, 9th.
Christianity then began to take over the Celtic lands.
Christianity.
And then in 1000 AD, the church made November 2nd All Souls Day. And this was a day to honor the dead. People believe that the church was trying to replace Samhain.
Yes.
Like, with a similar, but, like, a church-sanctioned specific holiday. Yeah.
Do people do that? Do people celebrate that?
All Souls Day?
Yeah.
Probably, like, very strong Catholics
Because
or
I've
Christians.
never heard of this before.
I have. That's when I had a dream about Big Hema.
On that day?
Well, it was November 1st leading into November 2nd. So that's technically the night when the veil is the thinnest. And that's when I had a dream about my past great-grandmother and cousin. Second cousin. They were both there. And I was like, hey, does anyone notice that these guys are here? Because they're not supposed to be here.
They're not supposed to be here.
I don't think they're alive.
Not alive. That's strange.
Yeah. So
I've never
heard of it,
that.
but I don't know why. Probably because I had to go to catechism, and
I
I grew
didn't
up
do that.
Catholic. I am no longer.
I am... The way you... I am no longer...
a Catholic Reformed. I am a Reformed Catholic.
I'm a leaver. I'm a quitter.
Same.
I'm a leaver. I'm a quitter. I'm a non-God believer.
So anyway.
I'm a rhymer. What song was that?
I don't know. It sounded like it was like the one where it's like. What
song are you singing?
I don't know that. I don't know.
I want to know. I want to
Well, I won't
know. Views.
I think it goes. Well, I can't stop.
She's
Pathetic.
so pathetic. She's very mad.
Nyx.
Her sad little... No, her paw is just floating midair. Oh.
I'll do it.
She doesn't like that. No
Yeah,
thanks.
I know. Okay. Anyway. All Souls Day. This was celebrated with big bonfires, sounds familiar, parades, and also dressing up, sounds familiar.
Sounds right.
In this case, though, instead of dressing up in, like, animal skins, they dressed up as saints, angels, and devils.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is Halloween. So
This is All Souls Day.
You're telling me that the Christians tried to make their own Halloween on November 2nd, and it hasn't stuck around.
Correct.
They attempted, and they failed.
Correct.
They tried to make a movement, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
People were
that's
like,
exactly it.
you're just copying Samhain? I don't...
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so, okay. There's also, besides an All Souls Day, there is an All Saints Day. This was originally on May 13th, and it was only dedicated to the Pantheon in Rome in order to honor Christian martyrs. But then Pope Gregory III, I don't know, made it so the festival also celebrated all saints as well as martyrs. So not just martyrs, but saints as well. And then he moved it from May 13th to November 1st. Hi, Katie.
He just moved it.
He's
See, this
like-
is the thing I love about religion. People are just like, I'm just going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then I hope it catches on.
Oh, I wish you could see the cat right now.
She's
hear
so
her.
cute.
Okay, so anyway, another name for All Saints Day. Here we go.
Wait. Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
All Saints Day.
All Saints.
November 1st.
November 1st, not November 2nd, which is All Souls Day.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So, another name for All Saints Day was All Hallows or All Hallowmas, which comes from the Middle English word for All Saints Day, which is All Hallowmesse, I think.
I think.
And the night before this, October 31st, was the traditional night of Samhain, and it was started to be called All Hallows Eve.
I've
And
heard
then
that.
eventually Halloween.
That is
That's
so
how we got the name.
crazy.
So then an American version came of like Halloween, because of course we Americanize everything.
Okay.
And it came to be because different European groups and like the natives started meshing, and like all of their different stuff would kind of come together. So this version included really big public events to celebrate the year's harvest.
Okay.
So at these events, it would include dancing, singing, sharing stories of the dead, and telling each other's fortunes.
That's
Attempting.
just like around.
Again.
Attempting to
Attempting.
tell each other's fortunes.
And these were mainly happening in the colonies, and it had like spread elsewhere in the nation. But eventually, people from Ireland started to flee because of like the Irish potato famine and stuff, and they started coming here. And because of that, they helped bring the Samhain celebrations all over the nation.
Oh,
the
wow.
Irish people.
So we celebrate Halloween because of the Irish.
Because of the Irish.
Thank you.
Look at the
all
Irish.
people.
Did you ever see that movie?
No. Oh, is that the
Disney
basketball
Channel?
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I probably saw it. I just don't remember anything that happens in it. Does
Me
he
either.
turn into a leprechaun or something?
Yeah, and like his mom's a leprechaun or something. And she's like this big.
Stop.
And the dad's
Stop.
a normal human. That's someone's fantasy for sure.
Stop. Get out.
So anyway, where does trick-or-treating come from, you may ask?
Where does trick-or-treating come from,
Thank
Jade?
you. I figure you would ask.
I figured you would have.
So specifically, it's Americans. Shocker.
We want candy.
Yep. They would dress up in costumes and go house to house asking for food or money.
Trick or
say
treat, give
why.
me a $5 bill
Yeah,
now.
exactly. And then this is very interesting. Young women believed that if they did tricks with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors, they could get the name or appearance of their future husband.
Huh?
If they only did it on Halloween, though.
Okay, so like, okay,
I don't fucking know.
mirrors. Okay.
In the 1800s,
Oh.
they tried to make Halloween in America. They tried to make Halloween like not as scary with all of like the scary masks people would wear and stuff like that. Oh, I totally skipped a whole part.
I was gonna say because Halloween's not scary.
So, where does jack-o'-lantern carving come from? You might also
Hey,
be asking.
Jade, where
Hey,
do
Hunter.
those jack-o'-lanterns come from? I don't get it.
I'm really glad you asked me that because I actually have the answer for once. So this also originated in Ireland, but instead of using pumpkins, they used turnips. And they would
turnips, like, this big?
Yeah, they would carve like really scary faces into them in order to ward off evil spirits that would try to get into
Okay,
their
so
house.
where would the turnips go?
On like their balcony.
So there's just like
Or, like,
20
deck.
turnips.
Yeah, like protecting them.
They have a little turnip army. That's cute. It's also cute.
Thank you. So anyway,
The turnips.
the scary masks, the scary turnips, and then eventually the scary pumpkins. They tried to get away from like all of that kind of stuff and make it more like townspeople
Townspeople
in America.
in the 1800s.
Yeah.
This isn't good for the children.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And then they started, and though because of that, Halloween started to lose its like superstitious side of like where if you don't do these things, then like this bad thing will happen to you. And it started to lose its like religious overtones as well and started becoming more of like just a celebration kind of an event. I don't like how close
No,
the
I don't
spider is
either. I
getting.
was looking at that and I was like, she's gonna strike any moment.
Even Nyx is looking. Celine has gotten dangerously close to the cats.
Celine is going in that direction.
Celine!
Celine! Oh, Celine.
Celine,
No. Celine, no. Celine. Oh, no, Celine. Oh, Nyx is getting involved.
This is riveting stuff.
I like how they're not moving, though. They're like...
See, here's the thing. Artemis doesn't know how to hunt properly.
Oh.
And she will, like,
just she should be striking right now.
She very lightly will, like, tap at something. Nyx is the one that will get aggressive.
Yeah, Nyx is getting aggressive already. Oh, she fell. Oh, Celine's gone. Celine's gone. Celine is never going to be found again. Celine is hiding now. Artemis is really bad. She, like, tried to catch her. She didn't even catch her.
I'm traumatized. I usually hate spiders, but that one, jumping spiders are so cute. And I was like, oh, we have one living with us. Let's name it and let's leave it. Now she could be dead.
She's not dead. Artemis is not finding her in there.
Yeah, but she, like, trapped her. She could have squished her when she did that.
No, she definitely didn't. Because Elias, like, Pat's cat's paws are like this. So, like, normally when Elias, like, hunts things, he, like, catches them in his paw. He, like, puts it there, and then he, like, catches it in his paws, and then he, like, eats it.
Oh, no, Nyx
but
will
she just
trap
like,
it against the thing and then eat it from there.
She just trapped it, but then she dropped it because she was falling.
Because she
literally fell.
Man.
So, anyways, I think Celine is alive, and Nyx is still looking up there as if Celine is up there.
She's just making sure.
Nyx does not know what's going on.
She's just checking.
She's cleaning up the aftermath, but there is none. So
anyways, in the 1920s and 30s, this is when vandalism during Halloween began to happen a lot with, like, young mischievous.
19 when?
20s and 30s.
Okay.
So they really tried to, like, crack down on that and, like, make it more, like, youth friendly. So, like, get them more involved. And so they would be, like, going to parties and doing stuff rather than vandalizing and being mischievous.
Yeah.
Mischievous?
Mischievous?
I think it's mischievous.
I think
there's not an I.
It's both, though. I think I say...
Tell me what you say.
They're being mischievous. No. If you say they're being mischievous, then you're wrong. They're being mischievous.
I definitely say mischievous, but that's not how it's spelled.
But mischievous, I feel like, is more like a...
It's the same thing.
Mischievous is a... I feel like it's more like a verb. Where mischievous is more like an adjective. Like, those mischievous youth.
Versus they were being mischievous?
Yeah. You're not going to say they were being very mischievous. Like, that sounds weird.
Sure. Let me know if you know the answer in the comments. Or
leave it somewhere.
Tweet us or something. Anyways. So it started cracking down on that. And then around the 1950s, that's when a lot of the vandalism had, like, stopped. And since things were starting to get directed at the younger people, and especially, like, it started getting directed more and more towards the younger people, including, like, really young kids. So the 50s is when, like, the big baby boom happened. So there were lots of young kids. So because of that, they switched it from being in, like, these, like, civic centers, essentially, like, in the middle of towns. And would start hosting them in, like, classrooms at a school or in someone's, like, big mansion or house or whatever, so that they could accommodate for, like, this, like, the younger, smaller children and more people.
That is so weird.
Yeah, isn't it?
So I feel like it's really, like, more modern where, like these traditions didn't really come out until, like, more modern times. Because I just thought that, like, people were trick-or-treating, like, in the 1800s or whatever, in the 1500s. But, like, that's not the case at all. That's so weird.
Yeah, isn't it? We did it. Americans are the reason. Yeah. So then trick-or-treating was also revised.
Oh, she didn't find her because she's still up there looking for her.
Idiot.
Anyways. So trick-or-treating. What'd you say?
It was also revised.
And
families thought that if they would provide kids with, like, these little treats and stuff, then they could avoid, like, their house being tricked, like, with vandalism and, like, TPing and stuff like that. Okay, here's just some, like, it's just a crazy fun fact, okay?
Okay.
2 fun facts.
2.
One is that 1/4 of all candy sales are around the time of Halloween, like in a year.
1/4?
1/4.
That's in America.
And then,
America?
In America, yeah. And then
Okay.
Americans spend an estimated, are you
No.
ready? $6 billion annually on Halloween. Not just treats, but like decorations and costumes and stuff.
Dude.
So that makes it the country's second largest commercial holiday after Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know Halloween was so big. Like, I knew a lot of, like, people, I feel like our age, like, really like Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
But people older than us don't care.
A lot of my cousins do that are, my second cousins that are older than me. My
How
cousin
old are
Jessica, she's in her late 20s, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Oh, like
generation older than us, like, they don't...
That's
They
fair.
don't care. Generation younger than us, they don't really care either, at least. Like, Taylor does not care. Like, her
Interesting.
entire, like, her friend group and everything,
Yeah.
they don't care about Halloween.
Huh.
They're not, like, as intrigued. Like, they don't want to decorate. She just cares about, like, Christmas.
Yeah, she's already sending you Christmas TikToks
She's
at our
sending me
Halloween party.
Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, and then just one more thing that I thought I would mention, because I have 2 black cats, and of course there's like the superstition about, oh, black cats are bad and whatever. The reason I got these 2 cats, I specifically wanted black ones because I knew that people can be like really mean to them, and I just wanted to make sure that at least there are 2 less that can be abused by people.
I don't even understand.
Because they think they're bad luck.
They're just a cat.
Here's why they think they're bad luck.
Uh,
The idea that crossing paths with a black cat is bad luck comes from the Middle Ages, where people believed that witches would turn themselves into black cats in order to avoid detection. And
so you're
because
telling
of-
me
Uh-huh.
that people abuse black cats because they're witches. They
Yeah.
think they're witches. Like, back in the day, that's how it was.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I fully agree with you. Sorry, I have to do it.
It's just a cat, guys. And also...
Okay, we're going to cut this part out. Hang on. Because I have to put a wedgie. It's very... So anyway.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
They're just, oh my god, they're just so cute. And it's just a cat. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody cares about black dogs. What, witches didn't turn into dogs?
Yeah, I don't know why cats are seen... It's because people don't like cats as much.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Actually, no, I do understand why people don't like cats as much. Because dogs will do everything, and cats are, like, you have to earn their affection. And
Yep.
people are so lazy and egotistical and offended
Uh-huh.
about that having a dog makes them feel better about themselves.
Well, it also has to do, I read this thing that was like, it has to do with people, like, and like, consent almost. Like, you have to get consent from a cat to, like with dogs, you can go up to, like, any dog and pet them, and they'll be,
Pretty
like,
much.
usually fine with it. And then with cats, it's like, they have to warm up to you. They, like, if they don't want you to pet them, they will retaliate, and they will hiss, or they will, like, bat at you, or they will bite you.
or even run away. Like, it hurts. Some people get
really offended.
really offended by
Really
the fact that a
offended.
cat...
I meant to switch this
Oh.
for this one.
People get really offended about the fact that a cat doesn't like you. Like, it's a cat. Your
Yeah.
ego is so fragile that
A cat running away from you.
a cat running away from you, you're like, you know what? That's a witch. They need to die.
That's a
like
That's a witch, and I hate them.
Excuse me.
It's now bad luck. They crossed my
It's-
path.
they
I'm going
crossed
to
my
die.
path. I don't under. I love that actually.
ASMR.
Let's get some ASMR. Oh, that's nice. Anyways, now that the ASMR segment is over, we just gotta include that quickly.
Episodely.
Our episodely, episode
Our episodely.
done.
ASMR.
ASMR. It'll come back when we do the Oracle deck. Don't worry.
Oh, for sure.
For all you ASMR lovers out there, we got multiple
We
ASMR.
got you covered.
We got you covered. So
Halloween.
death.
Death.
I'm covering the Grim Reaper.
That is so exciting, dude.
Again, the Grim Reaper. I don't know anything about the Grim Reaper. He's a skeleton
Yeah.
with a robe and
Scythe.
a scythe.
The only thing I know about any kind of Grim Reaper is the Grim Reaper in Supernatural.
The Grim Reaper or death? I mean, they're the same, but like death. Are you talking about death?
No, I'm talking about because they have Grim Reapers. That like the main one, like Billy.
Oh yeah,
Grim female, and I love that.
Grim Reapers work under death. They like are death's
that's right. Servants,
army.
basically,
Servants. I like Death, honestly. In Supernatural, I like Death. He like, I don't know, I feel like we could be friends. Yeah, he's so chill. Like, Death is, you know, it's like, you'd think he'd be like this big, huge villain, which turned out to be God, by the way. But Death was just like living his life, and I love that for him.
Yeah.
So, the Grim Reaper is a personification of death.
Okay.
And that personification exists in a whole bunch of different cultures.
Okay.
But basically, the turning point in our attitudes towards death came in the 14th century when Europe had the Black Plague. And the Black Plague basically created, like, the Grim Reaper that, like, Americans know as, like, the skeleton with the thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the Grim Reaper didn't really, at least that personification of death didn't really happen until the Black Plague came about.
Interesting.
Fun fact about the Black Plague.
Oh, tell me.
In some cities, as many as 1 in 5 people died from the plague. Can you imagine if, like, I mean, like, I don't know how many people, like, 1 in how many people died for, like, Corona, but, like, 1 in 5? Your town is, like, so small at that point.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I'm looking up how many people, 1 in
how many people?
1 in how many?
But why the skeletal figure, you may ask?
Hunter.
Yeah?
Why is it portrayed as a skeleton?
Well, skeletons are symbolic of death, representing the human body after it has been decaying.
Well, yes. That does make sense.
The robe.
Uh-huh.
Is thought to be reminiscent of robes that religious figures would normally wear black robes during funerals. And so that's why the Grim Reaper in American culture wears that. And then the Sith, people think, there's different theories. People think, though, the scythe. People think that the scythe is taken from agricultural practices because, you know, harvesters would use that to reap crops that were being plucked from the earth. And, like, he's plucking souls from the earth. So, like...
And reap just what you sow.
Oh, Adele.
Thank you. I'm sorry, we break out into song a lot, and you're just going to have to deal with our voices.
Yeah.
So
we're really good singers, though, so it's totally... We're a blessing.
Yeah, I'm a really, really good singer. You're actually a good singer.
I don't think so. I feel like I've gotten
being modest.
I feel like I've gotten better because I watched this one YouTuber who I can't remember the name of. Shout out to that YouTuber I don't know the name of. He's like a vocal coach, and he taught me something about hitting high notes and like stretching your mouth out, and like it works. You should try that.
I should try that.
Anyways, in Greek mythology, Kronos, known as Father Time, was the king of Titans and the father of Zeus, and then Cronus was the harvest god, and he carried a sickle.
Oh!
And the Grim Reaper carrying a Scythe.
Scythe.
Why do I want to call it a Sith? He's carrying a
Star Wars.
scythe. Oh, that is exactly why I want to call it a Sith. The scythe. The scythe. People think that that is derived from a combination of Kronos and Cronus. They're very different. They're spelled like the same, but they're like they're spelled different, but they sound the same coming out of your mouth. Sorry, I was getting that.
Can I see what they're...
Tronus and Cronus. Tronus. Anyways, in the myth of Tronus, eating his children was used in a poetic sense for time devouring all things, as in the old saying, nothing lasts forever.
Wow.
Yeah, so people think...
Zeus.
Don't talk about Zeus. Nobody likes Zeus. Honestly, though. Like, name one person.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, how many people? One in...
As of May 1st.
May 1st. What? As of May 1st, the general May 1st.
It literally does not say a year on here, so please take this with a grain of salt because it's not even saying the year. But...
I love May 1st.
This is just in New York City, I think.
Okay.
1 death every 358 people.
Dude. And we think that this is like this was our
About the Spanish.
This was our, like, Black Plague, was Corona.
Right. Yeah.
And then the actual Black Plague, 1 in 5. That was what? 1 in
358.
I mean, that's, like, still a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
But, like, 1 in 5. Like, it just puts it in perspective that, like, oh, my God, dude. If that happened.
That's...
Dude.
So
many people that we know would be gone.
That would be crazy.
It'd be awful. Anyways, the Black Plague. Don't recommend.
So the Spanish flu, because that's the other one. That's like the most recent one besides COVID.
Oh yeah.
Geez.
Oh no.
The number. It is estimated that 500 million people, or 1/3 of the world's population, become infected with the virus.
Oh my God.
That was just infected though. The people that died. Was at least 50 million worldwide.
Dude.
With about 675,000 occurring just in the United States.
That's a lot of people. In some mythologies, the Grim Reaper actually causes the victim's death when he like comes to collect them. So like when he comes, like that's when they die. And so then people have told stories about trying to avoid death's visit by fending him off with bribery. Or trying to trick him.
Like with an invisibility cloak from Harry Potter.
Like with Harry. And then there's also, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, psychopomps. Which basically are like animals.
Okay.
That guide people to the afterlife once they die. So it's like a different type of Grim Reaper.
That's really cute. I think I've heard that before. And that's
I've definitely heard that before. But yeah, isn't that really cute?
That's really cute.
Like a little, like your...
A little like fox? Your spirit animal?
Why did we both think foxes?
Because we love foxes.
I was about to say it.
But whatever your actual spirit animal is
guiding you.
Or spirit guide or something, that's so cool.
Psychopomp.
I love that.
I know.
It's like everyone's... God, Harry Potter's on the brain. It's like everyone's Patronus.
Harry.
But like instead of it being that, it's like your animal that guides you to the afterlife.
Yes.
I hope mine's a fox.
And have you taken the quiz? If you haven't taken the quiz.
I have a Nebelung cat is my Patronus.
Oh, you have a cat?
Yeah. Very specifically the Nebelung. They're all gray.
I feel like I need to log in and see what mine is.
They're really pretty.
I think mine, it's either a unicorn or a dragon.
Oh, so you have like a fancy one.
Yeah, I have a fancy one.
What about your wand? Because mine's a fancy one.
I don't know what my wand is. I just know it's very flexible.
I have phoenix feather in mine, which is the
I definitely don't have that.
You can have, and then it's like apple tree or something like that. Apple wood.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Is it short? Is it long?
It's 13.
Okay, so it's pretty long
or something, and it's slightly unyielding in flexibility.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say mine is like I just know it's fairly flexible, and it's only like 11 inches.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
well, I don't know why I know mine. I'm a Ravenclaw.
I've gotten Ravenclaw too, which I feel like checks out because both of us, like, I might not be as intellectually, academically advanced, but I love. There's nothing more that I love than learning.
What we're doing right now is like
it's such a
tickling that part of the brain that I need.
Yeah. Like, I like to learn information that does nothing for me in the long run.
Yeah, just statistics. Just random statistics.
No.
Like, if you're scared of planes, I am.
Here we go.
I looked up some statistics. It is the most likely for a plane to crash in the first 3 minutes of takeoff and the last 8 minutes before it lands.
Oh,
that's
wow.
When it's closest to the ground. But.
Booty.
In order to experience some sort of fatality with a plane, you would have to go on a plane every single day for 10,000 plus years.
Oh, really?
In order for you to 100% die from a plane.
That's crazy.
No. This is a different statistic.
Oh, no.
That's if you were to experience like somebody you know.
Oh, okay.
It would be 10,000 years you ride a plane every day.
Oh my God, 10,000 years.
In order for you to absolutely 100% die because of a plane, it's 12,171 years you would have to go on a plane every single day.
So we're good. But
my brain still likes to be like, well, what?
I can't remember the statistic. I'm going to throw out some numbers. But yesterday I watched a video of people swimming with tiger sharks. And I've swum with tiger sharks. I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I've swum with tiger sharks, and not in a cage, by the way, open diving. It was the most
so cool.
It was the most amazing experience, and I highly recommend every single person in the whole world does it because
for sure want to shit my pants.
Yeah, but because tiger sharks get pretty close. There's other sharks too, like sand sharks, Galapagos sharks. They like are the ones that swim down.
Yeah, so they
or
don't
they'll
really
swim
interact
up,
with you.
but they're like far enough away. They're really reactive with each other though. So some people get freaked out because they'll like bump into each other and then get mad about the fact that they bumped into each other.
How dare you?
Whereas, because they like, I think those type of sharks like are really like they like are in groups, whereas tiger sharks are very much like on their own.
Solo, yeah.
So normally when you see tiger sharks, which I guess is really rare to see them, so I don't know. Like, we were lucky because we saw 2.
That's so cool.
But they, like, do not travel in packs. And, like, to have that giant, like, 15-foot creature so close to you. And they, like, come close because they, like, want to see who you are.
Like, curious.
So they'll, like, come at you. But then if you, like, continuously look at them, they, like, will turn away because they know what your eyes are. So they know that you're looking at them.
Oh.
But they're just curious because they're like, is this a prey or is this a predator? But the fact that you're looking at them shows them, like, you're also a predator. If you were turning your back to them, then they would attack you. But because you're looking at them... But you have
to just stare at them.
You have to stare at them. And if they come up, they normally come up pretty, like, slow. But they will, like, come up to you. This didn't happen to me, by the way. But if you, like, push down on their snout, they'll just, like, swim under you. They'll just keep going. Like, nothing is... So you just, like, basically are pushing them down and swimming on top of them at that point. Yeah. They're so docile as long as you are looking at them and make them aware that you're aware of them.
Got it. Don't act scared. They can smell fear.
Don't act scared and don't turn your back at all.
That's very interesting. So, you were scuba diving or snorkeling?
We were just snorkeling.
That's crazy.
They just
Where?
In Hawaii. They will hear the
lucky duck.
They will hear the boat engine. We didn't have any like bait or anything. They'll just hear the boat because they can hear so far. They can hear something like lands in the water. So you're not supposed to like splash because prey normally will splash in the water. So you have to get in nice and calm, and they can like hear the boat engine, and they just come. Like they just hear the boat and they're like, that might be something to eat. And so they just like come.
Which island did you snorkel off of? Do you remember?
Oahu.
Okay. I want to go there again really badly.
Anyways, but this video was like, you know, so many sharks are killed, like an abnormal amount of sharks are killed because of fishing. Not just like fishing for sharks, but just fishing in general because of the way that they do it.
Yeah. Yep.
They do it in a way where sharks get caught up unnecessarily. I forgot the word. I did a whole presentation. I should know what this word is. But it's like, bycatch. Bycatch is like where they're trying to get fish, but they get dolphins, whatever else in there.
Anything but fish.
Anything but fish
sea
is
turtles.
Bycatch. Sea turtles, crabs.
I have a sea turtle tattoo. Fun fact.
I love sea turtles.
In
Hawaii is where you got that.
In Hawaii is my first tattoo.
But people are like so afraid of getting attacked by sharks. And I can't remember the numbers, but it's like in the like thousands or like the low thousands of people a year who get attacked by a shark, not even killed. And then like the number of sharks that are killed are like in the millions. And then like the chances of you getting attacked by a shark, not even killed, are like 1 in 300 million or something. But then the chances of you getting struck by lightning are like 1 in like 11 million. So you're more likely to get struck by lightning than attacked by a shark. But people are so afraid of like in the ocean, they refuse to go in because of sharks when you are really not going to get attacked by a shark, guys.
That's
like you're just
crazy.
Not. Yeah. When I heard that, I was like,
compared to like the
whoa.
So it's 1 in what, like 10 or 11 million for getting struck by lightning?
Yes. And then it's in the hundreds for sharks.
I have to figure out. My therapist told me to look up statistics to like calm myself, and so I did. Tactic. And so here we go. So this was like around. Let's see.
Tell us.
So around like 2010, it was a 1 in 8 million chance of a fatal accident on a commercial plane. But now it says the studies into statistics of the last decade are more impressive. This was published in 2022, so for the past decade, it's been even greater. So it shows a statistical trend of up to 1 in 3.37 billion chance of a fatality when you go on a commercial plane.
That difference right there is huge.
It's crazy.
You said 8 million before, didn't you?
8 million. And
to
then
3 billion.
3.37 billion.
Dude. That's I feel like it happens more often.
I'll be fine.
But because you, like, can hear about it, it makes it seem like it happens so much more often.
Way more often, yeah.
Same with, like, sharks. Like, every time there is a shark attack,
you
it
hear
is
about
broadcasted.
Exactly. You don't hear every time any single plane takes off or lands.
No,
if you did, like, you would realize it's not as often.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
You
like,
get a notification every time.
They landed, went off, landed.
Literally would be constantly. Oh my God, excuse me.
1 in 3 billion for a plane. Plane fatality or plane crash?
Plane fatality.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could more likely, like 1 in 2 billion for like a plane
crash, but you would survive it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So anyways, Grim Reaper.
Greece.
Oh.
Ancient Greece found death to be inevitable, so he's not portrayed as like evil. I feel like normally the Grim Reaper is portrayed as like evil.
Yeah.
But I feel like in most of these, it's like he doesn't decide when you die. He's just there when you are dead. So people, it's like, don't kill the messenger. Hello.
It's like he's there to help you to help guide you. He's not there to kill you. So you should be nice to him.
He's a tour guide. Okay.
Be nice to the Grim Reaper.
In Greece, he's portrayed as a bearded and winged man, but he has also been portrayed as a young boy. I feel like that's scarier. I'd rather him be old. I don't want him to be like a young boy. Animal. I mean, yeah, but also if a fox came up to me and started talking.
Oh, no, I'm not expecting to talk. I'm just expecting, like, you die and your spirit is just there and just kind of walks away. And then if you don't follow it looks back at you until you start following it.
You know how, like, dogs, like, will poke you with their nose? That's what I'm picturing.
That's it.
The fox is like, bitch, we have places to be. I have
need
other
to get
clients.
Over here. There's someone else dying right now.
So, death was known as Thanatos. He was a counterpart of life, which, by the way, death is represented as male and life is represented as female. So,
that makes sense.
Shout out to all the females.
We bring in.
He was also represented as being just and gentle, and his job was basically to escort the dead to the underworld.
So, is he the same as? Oh God, what's his name? Is it Chiron?
That was my next point. He escorts the dead to Chiron, who then mans the boat that carries them over the river.
Styx.
Yes, but it's believed that if the ferryman Chiron did not receive some sort of payment, the soul would be delivered to the underworld and just left at the riverside for hundreds of years.
So you need to. That's why they used to bury the dead with money in their pocket. Is that your next point?
No, but yes, I did know that.
Yeah, because they believed that they would need some sort of payment to be able to get to the afterlife.
Yeah, or else they're just left there.
Which I love that. Which, I'm sorry, when I die, I would like a coin or something. Mm-hmm. Just something. Some form of payment. Just in case.
Just bury my credit card with me.
I don't know if I believe in an afterlife. I don't know if I believe in reincarnation.
I don't know.
I
could be convinced of anything at this point. Like, come on.
I'm so unsure. You could just give me just enough evidence and I will believe you until the next person gives me just enough evidence.
Literally.
I will change my mind.
But I will never believe in God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's hard for me. It is
hard for you.
There's guilt for not believing in God, and so I feel like I need to, but at the same time, it's just really hard to believe that there's a God that would allow all of the crazy things to happen. But then that brought, like, my grandma made a point that was like, well, he gave us free will, and so really it's just us. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but, like, still. And so for me, it's more like there's just an energy that exists. So in tarot, a lot of times they refer to it as, like, spirit. Or like your higher self even. Yeah. And those I can swallow a little bit easier.
Yeah. I definitely can vibe with that.
When it's like spirit, like it's an all-around energy that just kind of exists and it's there to guide you in the right path. And I really like that idea.
Does the energy have a gender for you?
I think it's female. But not really. Like, I don't picture anything, but I do feel like it's female.
I picture, like, I've slowly gotten into, like a Mother Earth type figure.
Yes.
Like, it's not a figure, but like a Mother Earth type of energy. Yeah. I'm not following a man blindly. A man is not guiding my life for
like
me.
Mother Gaia kind of a thing?
Yeah, a little bit.
But not like the goddess Gaia.
Yes,
but like the energy of...
The energy of that.
I fully get that.
Yeah. I like especially because, like, females can... I mean, not to say males can't, but, like, people who can have children I want to be politically correct here.
Yeah.
But, like, I like the thought that, like, they bring life into things. So, like, how could...
That's another reason why
How
Papa...
could a god be male? It doesn't make any sense. What do you bring to the table? Nothing.
Papa doesn't think that God's a...
I know,
Papa fully
because it
believes
doesn't
that
make
God
any
is a woman.
sense.
And that's exactly what he told me, too. And
What?
I love that so much. My grandfather is so
He's
woke.
He's so woke.
I love him so... He literally told me, he was like... I don't know how long I'm going to be on this earth for, but I know that my kids and grandkids are going to be here for longer than me, so I'm going to vote for whatever they want because I know that it's going to be here for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
Long
if
term.
only everyone thought like that.
Yeah.
That would be very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Especially because a lot of anyways. Yeah, we don't want to get too into that. In
Wow.
Scotland.
So, back to the Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. In Scottish folklore, there is a belief that a black, dark green, or white dog, so like a dark green or white dog, who's known as Cú took dying souls to the afterlife.
Interesting. Do you think that's where Cujo comes from?
I don't know.
Like the evil dog?
Maybe. That would make a lot of sense. Cujo.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love that, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big
Is that
dog.
like the Grim? In Harry Potter? When you see the Grim and it's the dog?
Goodbye.
Bitch!
Goodbye. That makes a lot of sense. This is Scottish. And, like, that's where...
Sips drink.
Ooh, fun fact.
Don't tell me.
In Ireland, we already covered this. In Ireland, the Dullahan is like their Grim Reaper. So if you didn't listen to that episode, you need to because...
Smash.
Because smash. Anyways, Poland. Death or smike?
Can I see how
Death.
it's spelled? Yeah, you tried your best.
Yeah.
I don't
In
know.
Poland, death
In Poland.
has an appearance similar to the traditional Grim Reaper, but instead of a black robe, they have a white robe. And because of like the grammar in Poland, death is female.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
I know. A female in white. A lot of the pictures that I saw too, it was like she was riding a horse. So she's just riding all around.
I love that.
She's a cowgirl. Riding you dear
I
day.
want to be a cowboy, baby.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
In
You know what video I'm
Scandinavia.
referencing?
I thought that was from a song.
No, it's like a Vine or a TikTok or something. I for sure showed it to you before.
Oh.
This guy is like just holding on to some weird thing at like a playground, and he's like saying,
Okay.
"I want to be a cowboy, baby." He sounds very drunk.
Oh, he's drunk.
He's very drunk. I'll show it
I
to you
love
later.
that.
I'll show it to you later.
Thanks. In Scandinavia,
Ooh, tell me.
during the times of the Black Plague, death is depicted as an old woman known as Pesta,
Oh.
meaning plague hag. She wore a black hood, and she would go into town either carrying a rake or a broom, and if she brought the rake, some people would survive. But if she brought the broom, then everyone's dying. So, like, she has to sweep up the mess. But if there's a rake, you know, there's some space between the... So, like, some people would live.
Jesus Christ.
I love that so much. But nowadays, the Scandinavians just believe in, like, the American version of, like, the Grim Reaper. The depiction, at least.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, that was during the Black Plague.
Specifically.
Yeah, old woman.
The plague hag.
The plague hag. Yes.
Yes.
In Hindu, the Lord of Death is Yama, who literally translates to the Lord of Death. Thank you very much.
Cool.
And he rides a black buffalo and carries a rope lasso to carry the souls back with him, back to his home.
Love that he rides a black buffalo.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I
That's
know.
so badass.
It literally is like a horse. No.
Anyone can
Get
tame
me
a horse.
A buffalo right now. I mean, he doesn't.
My man doesn't ride a buffalo with a whip to capture souls in.
Literally. But this whip isn't like a human spine whip. So it's just
Not as cool as
it's
the
just
Dullahan.
like a
I get it.
rope. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets black buffalo points for sure.
It like kind of evens out almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in Supernatural, he has like a Yama has like a task force called the Yamadutas. and they carry the souls back to him. Basically, sometimes, like, if he's, like, too busy, he, like, has them carry the souls back to him. And then he gets to decide whether or not they are good or bad. And then he decides where their souls reside in their next life. Okay. Like, what, like, their path is.
Interesting. So he's, like the Hades that, like...
Yes, he's, like, the Hades. Who. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, and there's so many different versions of the Grim Reaper. I only picked a couple because I literally, like, every single place has, like, their own version of the Grim Reaper.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah, like, Japan has their own version of the Grim Reaper, China, but, like, I figured these ones sounded the most interesting to me and were easiest to cover. But there's so many, so if you want to know more, you should definitely look into those.
Well, we could cover more at a later date,
that's true,
too.
we could. Because there's literally so many.
Enough for another episode?
Yeah, there's so many.
Okay.
So that's the Grim Reaper.
Hey, that's so cool. That's really, really cool. I like the idea of him. I saw this thing on Facebook, like, forever ago that was like, why is everyone so scared of the Grim Reaper? Like, he's just there to help you, to help guide you or whatever. Like, he deserves a hug or something like that. And I was like, yeah!
Yeah! Give the Grim Reaper a hug now! That's fair. I think most cultures, like, from what I read, he is just, like, they already are dead. So he's gonna, like, help them, but I know there's some cultures that like he is the reason why you're dead,
right?
Like, and then like I said, like they try to barter with him, be like, no, not today, give me another 10 years.
Oh
yeah, like selling your soul to the devil, but
like in Supernatural when you sell your soul to the devil at a crossroads.
Oh yeah, just like a crossroads. Yeah,
I hate us sometimes.
I love Supernatural though.
Oh yeah, Kyle's still up. We haven't finished it. We're on season.
Don't tell me.
11 or 12.
Okay, you're close. I was like, if you say season like 8.
No, but we haven't watched it in like over a year. I don't think we've watched a single.
You're not gonna remember.
In here.
There's no like I could not just watch a random season of Supernatural because there is so much that happens every season.
Yeah, we do have to like remind ourselves of what happened.
Yeah, you'd have to. There's probably like quick summary videos on YouTube. Like,
well, they also show like a until now.
That's
thing.
true.
Like
that's true. But if you stopped in the middle of the season,
God, what would they say? Like on the road or something like that at the very beginning. And like,
shoot,
carry on my wayward son.
There'll be peace when you are done.
So anyway, it's time for the Oracle cards.
On the road again? Is that what you said?
Back on the road, yeah. Something on the road again.
I think it says something about a road.
It's on the road again. So, so yours.
So me. I think this is the same one. One of the ones we had for the first episode, Rose Quartz. You need it if you are overly self-critical, if you are a sentient spiritual being who loves deeply, or if you are working in the healing arts, or those who want to be in the healing arts. So like
you.
Me. Where you should put it, in spaces you want to create as a safe zone or a sacred zone, or you can hold it with both hands to your heart. And you should use it when you feel like you always have to be the one to have it all figured out, the one who has to work the hardest, or the one who has to hold it together for everyone else. So I feel like we honestly could all use some of this.
Yeah. I feel like I said last time, that like or maybe it was the first episode, that the throat chakra is green. I think I was wrong. I think your heart is green. And your throat is blue.
Your heart is green. Here we go. You do yours.
Are you going to look it up? Thank you. So here's the crazy thing, okay? To you, this is like a day in between. To us, this is like an hour later from recording.
No. No.
It's the same one that Hunter got when she shuffled it, like shot out just like this one. It's the one where it's expect powerful change.
Stop.
So I'm just going to remind you
what
what
are
this
the
says.
Chances?
1 in however many fucking cards there are.
That's so crazy. And the fact that both of these are already pulled cards.
Huh?
What does it mean? Anyways, what does it say?
So just to remind you, it's if you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. And since we read this last time, I'm going to skip through and go to like the teaching So it says, new moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego. And then there comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds.
Okay.
Dude, that's insane.
That is so
literally,
crazy.
what are the... Like,
I
that's
don't know.
crazy.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So...
There's so many cards in that deck, dude.
There are. There's like... If you're looking...
It's probably like 100
on
something.
YouTube. I don't think it's like... Maybe it's like 50. I can count.
There's no way. Well, maybe. Tarot cards are like, what, 70?
70.
Wouldn't it be nice if we... Anyways, you were right about the heart chakra.
Being green?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to change what I said before. It is not throat for the green. It is blue, I think, for throat.
78 cards in a tarot.
Oh my god, I was right. I said 72, then I think I said
So that's
78.
probably like,
Close.
yeah, close enough.
I'll count. You probably don't want to hear me count.
While she counts, I'll sing you a song. Wouldn't it be nice if we could make up? I don't know the rest of the words to the song. The song reminds me of 50 First Dates, and if you haven't seen 50 First Dates, then you are not living your life. It is the one of the best movies, and Adam Sandler is in it, and Adam Sandler is king.
Hunter dressed up as Adam Sandler for our Halloween party that we had last
I
Friday.
did. Most comfortable costume ever.
Maybe we'll post a picture if our friends are okay with
if
it
they're okay.
on our podcast.
Mm-hmm. On our multiple
on our
different
podcast,
things.
probably Instagram,
Yeah, probably
Facebook,
Instagram,
maybe just all of them, so you
Tumblr,
can
all
see
of
just
them.
in case you check.
How many?
44.
That's it?
That's it. But still 1 in 44.
Still 1 in 44.
And shuffle separately.
And I pulled the same one as like our first one. Like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
That
They're
is
both
weird.
repulled
That
cards.
is weird. I like it though.
I like it.
We've even said this too, but even if this doesn't take off even a little bit, even though we already have plans for merch, if it ever happens,
We already have plans for merch, guys.
it's fun to be able to like learn these things and be able to talk to each other and whoever else is
Ravenclaws.
listening to this. To
To
Ravenclaws.
all the Ravenclaws out
To
there.
all the Ravenclaws that are listening to our stupid spooky history. Thank you.
Literally. I feel like every time I research, I'm always on history.com.
That's
National Geographic.
That's exactly what I go to. Those are my reliable sources that I have.
Seriously.
All right, well, that's it for now. And then starting next week will be the actual like one episode every Tuesday, and we'll start with those themes. So our first theme is Michigan.
Yes.
So any story from Michigan, urban legend, ghost, whatever, we will come to the table with that.
And our first episode will be releasing on November 8th.
Okay.
Our first
the election. Our first
regular
episode. Awesome.
Not Halloween special.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.